Hi, I'm Joanne SOCKOLOV BYRNE, and I'm running for the San Mateo County Board of Education. Our schools are facing the hardest economic times we've seen in decades, and the impact on our students and teachers is enormous. In our county, we have school districts that receive, on the low end, less than $7,000 in funding per student per year. Some districts receive almost 2 times that amount, yet they too are struggling. Low levels of funding creates big disparities related to student achievement, and that's just not acceptable. I'm currently the executive director of the Redwood City Education Foundation, working in one of the lowest funded and most socioeconomically diverse school districts in our county. Over the years, I've been a classroom volunteer, substitute teacher, PTA president, site council member, funding reform advocate, and have helped raise millions of dollars to support our students. I've been working inside the system, side by side with stakeholders, for over a decade. Let me share my priorities. The first and overarching is addressing funding inadequacies, which requires reducing expenses by consolidating services, sharing services, and creating economies of scale among the 23 school districts in our county. We must also realign our priorities to narrow the achievement gap and prepare our children to effectively compete in the 21st century. We need to improve kindergarten readiness and high school graduation rates. Living in the heart of Silicon Valley, we have the opportunity to leverage the use of technology in our classrooms to enhance teaching and learning. We need to support our teachers and ensure the highest levels of professional development for them. We also need to make sure that the road for our kids doesn't end in high school. We must assure that our college-bound kids are on a rock-solid footing, that more students have the opportunity to go to college, and that we also have strong pathways to vocational education opportunities for kids who aren't going to college. Let me share with you where my passion comes from. I am a product of our local public schools. I grew up in Pacifica and have been a San Mateo County resident for 40 years. I earned a bachelor's in business and a bachelor's and master's in communication studies at San Francisco State University. And though I received academic scholarships, I needed to take out a student loan and also had to work to finance my education. So I know what struggles students and their families face. My husband and I have 2 amazing daughters, one in high school and the other in middle school. Both have always attended public schools because we believe in the public education system. And I, as a first-generation American, daughter of immigrant parents, believe with all my heart that a high-quality education is central to having a strong democracy. The roles I've chosen in life have always been about serving others and helping them to achieve something better. Prior to my work in the field of education, my professional career was in human resources and organization development, and also in animal welfare. The main thrust of my business experience was to help companies find the best people, train them, develop them, and help them continuously improve their performance so that they and the company could be successful. I know what skills and abilities companies need in the workforce of tomorrow. My work at the Humane Society was to provide support for injured and abandoned animals and find adoptive, loving, human families for them. So I understand, too, about vulnerabilities and the need for strong support networks. I believe my qualifications are distinctive and strongly align with the responsibilities of this role. As a trustee, I will call upon all of my experiences and networks to ensure education excellence for all our children, no matter their backgrounds or needs. Please visit my website at www.voteforjoanne.org. Thank you.
I'm Joe Ross, and I'm a candidate for the County Board of Education. I lead an education nonprofit called Citizen Schools. Together with teachers, students, and parents, we work every day to put middle school students on a path to high school graduation and college so they have power over their futures and so they can make things happen for themselves. We did this by training new teachers in Redwood City and other parts of San Mateo County, and by bringing hundreds of adult volunteers into schools. We asked them to teach their hobby or their passion to make learning come to life for a kid. What does this look like? Imagine an engineer from Google teaching game programming, bringing to life math concepts like the XY axis, or an architect teaching building design, bringing to life scale and measurement. That's the kind of thing we do. And at the end of the last semester, I asked one of our students, let's call him Alex, what he learned from all of this. And he told me, well, I need to believe in myself. And I said, that's great. What else? And he told me, I need good grades. And I said, yep, that's true. And then he told me this, I need vision, he said. Now that just blew me away, a middle school student telling me he needs to hold on to his vision. So I asked him, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he looked at me and he said, an airline pilot. Well, yep, you need vision for that. But I think Alex also gained a larger vision of his future, a future that depends on the quality of our schools. We have some of the best schools in the state in this county, and we also have some of the worst academic outcomes. The most recent STAR test showed that our county schools collectively outperformed the state as a whole, but in some places as few as 50% of students graduate from high school. And from the coastside to the bay, parents are worrying about whether kids are learning what they need to succeed in the 21st century. This is not just a problem of the poor. Squeezed between high poverty schools that receive federal and state financial assistance on one hand, and high wealth schools that benefit from high property values on the other, the vast majority of our county schools in places like Redwood City, South San Francisco, Daly City, San Mateo, and the coastside experience the same catch-22 that many middle-class families experience. Not enough poverty to attract the attention and support they need, but not enough wealth to afford the quality of life or education they deserve. I care about this because I know the power of education. Before I was 5 years old, my father was disabled in an accident and my mother passed away, and I was adopted into a new household. It was an early lesson that things can just happen in life. But I was lucky because I saw that if I stayed in school and if I went to college, that I could gain power over my own life, the power to decide my own future. So I admit I became kind of a nerd, and I did make it to Yale with a scholarship, and when I graduated, my classmates were all taking fancy jobs on Wall Street, but I decided to enter the US Navy. And later, thanks to the GI Bill, I made it to Stanford Law School. And after I graduated, when my classmates were making careers at law firms, I decided to work full-time in education. So now, as a parent, as an educator, I am asking for your support in this election so I can serve you on the Board of Education. I will work to save taxpayer dollars by consolidating services at the county level. I will work to improve the training of new teachers. I will work to align high school graduation requirements more closely with college entrance requirements. And I will work to invest deeply in early childhood literacy because reading English is key. Students need to learn to read before they can read to learn. As the only candidate with the endorsement of the San Mateo Daily Journal, I am grateful to have the support of the President of the County Board of Education, Assembly Member Rich Gordon, Supervisor Dave Pine, Council Member Kevin Mullen, and education leaders from the coastside to East Palo Alto, from South San Francisco to Daly City to Menlo Park, Redwood City, San Mateo, and countless other communities. Today, I'm asking for your support too, and your vote. My name, the name to look for on your ballot, is Joe Ross. Thank you for listening.